Hi, welcome back. Excuse me, looking a mess. I was at work tomorrow. Tomorrow? What the hell am I talking about? I was at work today and I woke up really early and I slept poorly. I slept horribly. It was so bad. It was so bad. And now it's 9:30 p.m. I'm tired. I'm tired, but I want to do this. So, hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, I guess. I decided to bring out the microphone today. You can technically clip it on something, but I just feel so awkward doing that. I feel like if I put it here, you just won't hear me. I don't think you can hear me that well, and I was going to put it on like a stick or something so I don't have to hold it weirdly like this, but I didn't find anything suitable. So we're just gonna have to deal with this. Okay, I'm holding it weird and that's fine. Anyway, wanted to come on here to talk a bit about the books that I read in January. I mentioned previously that I'm doing the StoryGraph challenge, the January Pages challenge, which means that you have to log in one page or 1 minute of an audiobook every single day of the month of January, which is exactly what I did. I actually didn't know that audiobooks were also an option. I do sometimes listen to audiobooks when I crochet, but other than that, not much. But I did listen to a few. But since I didn't know that it also counted into the pages, I made sure to also read every single day, even on the days that I did listen to an audiobook. So I was really diligent. And somehow we got to, hold on, 2,378 and 78 pages read in January, which is more than I usually have for like the entire half year. Safe to say it's been a successful month. So I wanted to come on here and share with you a little bit about what I read. And yeah, so let's get into it. So the book that I started this year with is called Welcome to the Hunamdong Bookshop by Huang Boram, which I mentioned previously. It's about a bookshop owner. She got burnt out at her last job and now she decided that she wants to chill for a bit and she wants to be surrounded by books. So she opens a bookshop slash coffee shop, since there's also a cafe, and she employs this one guy to be a part-time barista, and we follow her basically as she creates a community in this bookshop of neighborhood people that are all so lovely. The cast of characters, they're all just such lovely people. Great book. I picked this book up because I mentioned to a friend that I really enjoyed What You're Looking For Is in the Library. And my friend said that the Welcome to the Hunamdong Bookshop has very similar themes and very similar atmosphere. And that is true. However, I must say that I enjoyed What You Are Looking For in the Library more, because it just felt more hopeful. It gave me a bigger sense of there are better days coming, there are better things in your life, and even if currently you're stuck in a place that you don't like, a place that's not good, if you're stuck doing something that you hate, that there's still a way out, and that the way out is through doing little hobbies and meeting new people and getting out and just creating a community around yourself and surrounding yourself with just beautiful things that you enjoy and that you love. And yeah, it gave me a lot of hope. And I did really enjoy Welcome to the Hunamdong Bookshop as well. But I must say that it didn't give me that big of a sense of hope as the What You're Looking For in the Library book did. So I guess that's one thing that I wanted to mention. The friend who lent this book to me said that she actually preferred the Welcome to the Hunamdong bookshop, that for her, that is the book that gave her a sense of hope, and the story was just stronger thematically for her. And I can understand that, but for me, what did it was the What You're Looking For is in the library. So if I had to pick between these two books, I would still peak. I would still pick What You're Looking For is in the library, but I must say that Welcome to the Hunamdong bookshop was a very good read, and I would still recommend it. Great book. Okay, next I actually read a volume of Spy Family. I really enjoyed watching the anime, and yeah, they had some sales before Christmas on these manga volumes specifically, so I bought 3 before Christmas. And then, since I already bought the 3 volumes, obviously I read them, and then I wanted to read more. So since I got a subscription at the local library, I decided to borrow more volumes, and I borrowed volume 4 and 5. So I read those. Really cute story. I don't know, just go watch the anime, go read the manga. It's so wholesome. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love it so much. Definitely a recommendation from me. Yes. I know it's a popular anime. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just go watch it. It's good. It's good. Go read it. I don't know. Next one. Next book I read was The Premonition by Banana Yoshimoto, which I also mentioned previously. And I also mentioned that I have not heard of this book and that I bought it specifically because this author was recommended to me, but I didn't know what the actual book was about. And I found out. So it's about a girl who has these, I guess, not like visions, well, premonitions. So they're not like flashbacks, but she can kind of sense when something is wrong, or like when somebody's calling, she can tell who it is by just hearing the phone, and like she knows who's on the other side. And I don't know, if like a person goes missing, she can kind of guess where they are. She can just sense things that other people can't. And she actually doesn't remember her past. She doesn't remember her childhood. She has no idea who she is, basically. So we follow her as she kind of starts remembering, and she starts going on this journey of she's just talking to her aunt, and she like visits her at this house, and she slowly starts realizing that something is just wrong, and that she doesn't know who her family is. And she starts remembering what happened to her as a child. And yeah, so we follow her on the journey of her discovering herself and finding out the truth about her life, with a little bit of, I guess, a supernatural twist. Not really, but a little. Great book, really great book. Enjoyed the writing style so much. It was only 130 pages, and the story was told just, it was so descriptive. I felt like I am in the book, like I am in the actual places that they mentioned. And it was so concisely written. It was so good. Honestly, I would like to say that no notes, but I do have some notes. Yeah, the book also contained random incest, because I don't know, it did. It tried to sell it a little bit as like, these people, these two, they aren't actually siblings, so it's fine. However, they grew up under the same roof, they were raised as siblings, they have the same, not biologically, they don't have the same parents, but they were raised by the same two people, by the same parents, under one roof as siblings. And you're trying to tell me that just because they're not blood related, that it's not incest and that it's not weird, and that feeling romantic tension between you and your brother who's not your brother is normal? It's not. It's not. I don't know. I chose to ignore that part of the plot just completely. I mean, it didn't need to be there. The fact that it was there, it didn't really do anything for the story much. So I just decided to ignore it, and I gave it 5 stars anyway because it was a really good book. And that's on choosing to ignore topics you don't like. Okay, moving away from incest, the next book I read was Love Between Fairy and Devil, which is a lovely Chinese novel. I read the first volume. There's a second volume out by Seven Seas. And it's probably going to have more volumes. I don't know how long the entire series is, but I noticed that there's 2 volumes out so far, and I only got the one. And I decided to read it because I watched the drama some years back. There's a Chinese drama of the same name based on this novel. It stars Esther Yu and Dylan Wang, and it's really good. It's so cliche. It's in the name. It's a love between fairy and devil. Not much else to say about it, but I will. Okay, so our main girlie is called Xiao and she's a flower spirit, and she somehow gets trapped in this ancient prison that imprisons the one ancient demon lord guy. And because our Xiao has some very bad luck, she switches souls with him. So now her soul is in his body and his soul is in her body. And it's very comedic, it's very fun. We follow them as they escape the prison together. And suddenly you have this ancient demon lord going around the world and meeting all of these demons that fear him, and everybody who hears his name and sees what he looks like, they know that shit is going down. They know that he's evil. But suddenly, he's talking to himself all weird, and he just does things that make no sense. And that's the beauty of it. That's just really fun book. Definitely do recommend it. It's kind of a cliche rom-com, but speaking of, I am currently watching Ski Into Love, which is another Chinese drama that stars Esther Yu. And she is truly my favorite Nepo baby. I'm going to watch everything that she's ever been in, okay? Whoever is casting her, they always have her play the same exact type of character. And I eat it up every single time. It's so good. It's so good. She's just cutesy and clumsy and kind of stupid, but not really, very much a girl's girl. She's lovely. Love whatever she's doing. In Ski Into Love, so she's a manhwa artist, right? She's a mangaka. And I don't know, her company is going down. There's been some sort of scandal. I don't care about that. And her idea is that she's going to write her next story about some skiing, about some snowboarding. So she goes with her friend to a ski resort for a holiday, and there she meets the love interest, who is this ex-Olympian snowboarding guy. And he's the best snowboarder in all of China. And he's at this ski resort because he now offers classes. You can get taught by him how to snowboard. And I was gonna say Xiaolanhua. I don't know what Xiaozhi. So Xiaozhi, that's Esther's character. She's absolutely hopeless. She cannot snowboard at all, at all. She's so bad at it. But our guy kind of, he's still teaching her, even though one lesson from him costs like a lot of money, and he's so good at what he does, he's still going to teach this one newbie because he just, I don't know, he just likes her, I guess. It's just so cute. It's so fun. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's such a good drama. It's super cliche, and you know, there's it's a Chinese drama, so obviously they have all these like other plot lines, and it's all connected. And the main love interest, the snowboarding guy, he also has a sister who's like a really big fan of Xiaozhi, and she also draws, and she wants to work with Xiaozhi on her next manga. But then Xiaozhi mentions that it's like, oh, it's about snowboarding, and the little sister, she's like, I'm gonna have to think this through. Like, this is like a dream come true, but also snowboarding is really, it's very difficult for me. And then we find out that she's disabled and she's missing both of her legs. So, it's all coming together. She doesn't want to draw and write about snowboarding. And also, the ex-Olympian brother has something that happened in his past, an injury also, but something that happened in his past that makes him not want to join the Olympic team again. So now he's just teaching at some random ski resort. What could have happened? I don't know. Probably his sister got very badly injured and lost both of her legs. Who would have thought? Not me. Anyway, it's so good. It's so good. Definitely, I don't know. I am biased because, like I said, I will eat up absolutely everything and anything that Esther Yu is playing in. But still, if you ever feel like watching a cliche rom-com, which is all that I ever want from my Chinese dramas, honestly, Skin to Love, why not? That's not what I was supposed to talk about, but now I am, and now you're hearing about it. Okay, great. Okay, next book on the list I read was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. Another banger. Another banger. It's about a woman, and she works at a convenience store. So we're following a woman who, she's a little bit of a weirdo. She's been weird ever since she was a child, and like, whenever a situation arises, she just does not deal with it in a way that a normal person would. I don't know, her parents are kind of okay with it, like they support her and they love her still, but everybody can tell that she's weird. And so she gets to college and she finds a part-time job at a convenience store. And that is the place where she finds her entire life's purpose. She gets a manual on how to act, what to say, what to do. And it's the first time that she finally feels happy. She finally feels like her life has some sort of a purpose. Purpose as a person working at the convenience store. And so we don't follow her in her college years. We follow her when she's like in her late 40s or something. And, she's still working part-time at the same exact convenience store. She does not have a full-time job. She finished her degree, but she's not doing anything with it. She's not dating. She's not getting married. She's not having kids. And, it's weird. Whenever she meets anyone, they're just like, when are you getting married? When are you getting kids? When are you settling down? Like, are you just going to keep working at this convenience store? Don't you want more from life? But she doesn't, and she has a few excuses lined up that she didn't come up with, but her sister actually did. And she just says that her health is not the greatest and that she does not care for dating. I mean, she doesn't exactly say that, but it is implied. Some of her friends try to be really like, if you don't want to get married, like, we know some single women who are in a similar situation and they just never got married, and it's for a very simple reason. So like, if gay is okay, if you're a lesbian it's fine, but she's not. She just does not care for dating or anything, and she does not care to be accepted by society, so she just makes up things and then works to be able to go back to the convenience store every day. So she thinks about the fact that the food she's eating is from the convenience store and the water she's drinking is from the convenience store. And if she's eating something else, like if she cooks, it's basically just fuel for her body to be able to function, to go to the convenience store. And she makes sure to, I don't know, stretch or something so her body can work properly. And she goes to sleep on time so she can be well rested for the convenience store. And I mean, it's a very, I guess, it is not the unhealthiest way of living because she is fueling her body and she's going to sleep on time, but it is all just for the convenience store, because being a convenience store woman is the only thing that she cares about. And personally, it just reminded me of, she reminds me a lot of Yozo from No Longer Human, simply because it's another Japanese book, it's another Japanese author, and it also talks about the alienation from society and when somebody feels like they just don't fit in, and no matter what they do, they just will not fit in because they are not wired like that. And I personally find it really relatable and fun. A great representation for me personally. Um, So she reminded me a little bit of Yosa, but she could, I mean, she's like any other character that feels alienated from society. I don't know, like the guy from The Stranger could also work, I guess. I don't know, any other character that feels like they don't belong. One day this other guy starts working at the convenience store, and he's a creep, he's a weirdo in a different sense than she is. And he like stalks random women, and he just keeps going on about how life is so unfair to him. He's basically an incel and anything worse that you could ever possibly imagine. He's horrible. And so she meets him, but she's the only person who can kind of sort of understand his view of life because she also feels different and she knows it. So she tries helping him out, and it just completely derails her life. But she's not happy. She wants the convenience store. And yeah, that's basically all I'm gonna say about that. But it was a really good book, and I yet again do recommend it. I just keep talking about all of these books like I've only read good books, but I've also read bad books or books that I didn't enjoy very much, but I haven't finished them. Next up, I read Sex Education at 120%, which is a manga series. It has 3 volumes. They had another sale at a bookstore. So I bought these 3 volumes of the manga and I read all of them when I was visiting home. It's just a cute little manga about sex education. It talks about queer relationships. There's, bi representation with the main teacher who's teaching all these girls about sex education, which they will probably not get anywhere else. There's this cute little love story with like another teacher that like the main teacher is in love with, and she's teaching these girls. One of them is completely obsessed with BL, with yaoi. She just all she cares about is BL, and she does not care for relationships in real life, but it's still good to have education. So she listens to the lectures and she uses it for her BL scenarios. Then there's another girl who she really only cares about her cat. She is supposed to be representing the asexuals. Uh, maybe I guess. She only cares about her cat. It's really cute. Some parts are a little weird, but it's a Japanese manga. I mean, what can I say? They be weird like that. Um, Another girl who's a lesbian. She's in a lovely, committed relationship with another woman, but admittedly also not somebody who sex education usually focuses on. So we get these three girls and the teacher who's like teaching them everything, and it's just, I don't know, it's good, it's educational, it's queer friendly, probably for way younger audiences, I guess, than myself. I'm old. um but it was still enjoyable. And for the last book that I finished, that would be Schoolgirl. I'm sorry, I have it I have it right here. Schoolgirl by Dazai Osamu, because I'm lending it to a friend. So one day I just didn't feel like reading anything else, and I picked up this book because I had to put it into my suitcase so I don't forget to bring it with me. And I decided to read it because it's really short. It's like 100 pages, and they're really, the pages are small. The letters are so spaced out. It's such a tiny book. It's basically like, it's not one paragraph, but like one chapter. You get through it very quickly. I think it took me like an hour. Really short. I have read it last year, I think, and it's a good short little novella about a girl and her one day where she goes from morning to evening. She goes to school, and it's basically just her inner thoughts, the inner thoughts of a teenage girl. She's thinking about, oh, my eyes are so dull and ugly, and then at the end of the day she's like, oh, my eyes are so beautiful and bright. And she just like changes her opinion a lot. It's a good, nice insight into the mind of a teenage girl, and I think it's really good and relatable. And I think it's the first novella that Dazai Osamu ever published. A little fun fact. Yeah, so that should be all the books that I finished. There are some that I have not finished, but I think I'm going to come back because no storage. So I'll come back later and I'll update you on those. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay, bye bye.